I am just checking if I am now live, so bear with me. I don't know if I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. So let us try to watch a few seconds without the sounds because I don't want it to hear any feedback of my voice again. No thanks. Yeah, okay, so I'm live. This is just going to be, I just want to do more live videos on YouTube as well as because I feel like in terms of podcasting, I want my podcasts episodes to be more clean, and as much as possible I would be putting a lot more effort into putting all of those things together. But for these live videos on YouTube, I would just be, wait, let me check if there's the, yeah, in any case, I just really wanted to share a few things that I don't normally, because sometimes when you post on social media, I just want it to be as short as possible, but I want to talk more about this and some of the things I did for the first few days of the year 2022. So I have new books, as you can see from the title, and I already put it there at the bottom of the screen that I have new books, and this is one of the recommendations. It's the start of the year. I have asked for my friends' book recommendations, because as of now I'm really outdated. I don't know what is the best books out there. Sorry for the sound outside. I am not using any microphone, but let me just turn off the fan as well so it can hear me better. But as you can see here, I have the 4 books of Janus Silang, and this is surprisingly, I never heard of this, although the storyline, which we will be talking about later on, I think I've heard it before. I'm just not too sure. But surprisingly, people that I know but they don't know each other have recommended the same series, so I'm quite curious. I'm actually very curious about this. I don't usually read Filipino books because I am not good in, I know how to speak Tagalog, I'm fluent in Tagalog, I know. It's just that when you're reading it and it is purely Tagalog, I am mostly speaking in Taglish, so it's kind of difficult, and also some terminologies are just, it's like when you're reading Old English, it's very similar to that. So let me just see if pa-shout out po. Ayan. Oh. So Leo Ninoy, so he's the one who suggested this one, as well as some of my other friends from high school. They have suggested the same. And also I was not able to read this book after I got it. I got it in January 8th. As you can see, I put dates on my books. All of my books have dates in there because I just want to remember when I actually bought it. And that's why I don't know, it's just my thing. And sometimes I feel guilty looking at the books that I have bought years ago, but I haven't really opened them. I mean, I've opened them just to look at the first few pages, but I've never gotten a chance to actually finish it. And then yesterday I bought plastic covers as well because I can't start reading. Yeah, that's the reason why I haven't read this since January 8th. I started looking at it, but I feel like it's too fragile. Like I feel wet or mess everything up here, have all of the food fingerprints everywhere, so I need to buy some plastic covers before I start reading this. So yeah, I've covered them all of the 4 books here. All of them are clean and has all the covers and in there. I think I've also improved my plastic covering skills. And also I have bought another book. This is just our daily bread book. I'm pretty sure this is popular. I mean, this is like your daily Bible verses, and I had one before as a gift from my friend as well. I sometimes read it, sometimes when you just want to get some encouraging words, or even if it's not encouraging, I just really wanted to read something that you feel is meaningful, inspirational, for you to do something, at least feel what you want, what you think is actually right, or something, give some positive vibes in your life. And to be honest, sometimes it's not really all positive, but at least it makes you all grounded. I am not as a religious person, but I enjoy reading this because of some of the testimonies, and it's very bite-sized. It's a bite-sized kind of thing. If you just want to have your daily reading, something that is meaningful, then you can just have this one. I just got the 2022 version. I have the 2018, and for years I haven't really bought anything, or I mean, I haven't bought the annual editions. But yeah, now I bought this one, and I don't feel like I would make this as a content, because this is really very personal to me, and I don't think that is also my kind of style. But I just wanted to share that I bought this as well, because yeah, it's a good book. I think it's worth sharing as well. So yeah, that is it. For those of you who are familiar with this and you want to know what the covers feature, is the Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 22. The waves may roll, but they cannot prevail. They may roar, but they cannot cross it. So for those of us in life right now, I think it may roar, but they cannot cross it. Okay, so we have to push friends. So this is also the reason why, I mean, that is a good introduction to what I was about to say. So I started reading book 1, and I aim, or at least my goal, is to finish this 4 books in the series by first quarter, because by the end of this year, I hope my goal is to read 10 books in 1 year. So this is already 4. So if I am able to read this by Q1, then that is 4 out of 10. I'm already 40% of my target, and it's just 25% of the year. So that is like a good goal, right? In terms of like the glide target. But anyway, that's I'm getting off tangent every time. But this is the first book, Diyan Silang at ang Tiyanak ng Tabon. So to be honest, again, I am only in, but I am just in page 14. I will start reading this again after this live, just so I would have a good start, because I've seen that the next chapter is just around the corner in the next few pages. But this is more of like about Diyan Silang. So if you have read books like this, whose title is the name of the main character, then you'd know that most of the time it is good. Most of the time it's going to be iconic, because you've heard about Harry Potter, you've heard about Percy Jackson, right? Those are like international books that are self-titled by the main character. And this one is Diyan Silang, and we have books. The second book is again Jana Silang at ang laban ng manananggal, mambabarang. And then the third with pitong pusong. And the fourth one is hiwagang may dalawang muka. So by the looks of it, it is kind of like mythical or mythological and by nature, maybe more of like a fantasy side, but it really depends on your beliefs. And I think some people believe in these creatures like the Chanak. I'm not sure if I am not aware if other countries have the version of the Chanak, or the Filipino, what they call this, it's the tip of my tongue. It's in the tip of my tongue. Like the mythical creatures. Let's just call it the mythical creatures of Filipinos. I'm not sure if this is already being. If you have also heard about Trece, it is covering the same malignos or the same mythical creatures. Not exactly the same, but it's this like monsters and all. But it is very prevalent in the provinces of the Philippines. Like they do believe that this exists, and some people are claiming that these are actually that these are actually true. They have encountered a lot of these things. I have heard, I'm following a lot of podcasts about this, and they have stories when they have encountered when they are road tripping. They have encountered a lot of people. They call it like people that are not the same with us. That is just to put it lightly. But these are mythical creatures who is sometimes in the form of human, and then they're going to show their real faces. So that is what these titles are all about. Because Chanak is like, if you are aware of, I don't know how to better explain this, but it's like the baby of a mythical creature. They are often very ugly, and they have their teeth are scary looking babies, and usually they would also be like vampires. They're like vampires who would also like suck up your blood and all, but they are usually very scary, and they are sons or daughters of a much more and I'm not sure, maybe I can just look it up when I am going to be creating an episode about this Jana Salang. I'll be searching more about Chanak, and if there is any references that you can have when it comes to other countries' mythical creatures, because I know that like we have like Minotaur. It's very similar to the Tikbalang, and what else? There's a lot of things. Whenever I try to look at, whenever I hear about stories in other countries, I often relate it to what is in the Philippines, and more often than not, we have the same malignos, mythical creatures. So let us move into the story and what I think about the first few ones. So I was able to read the teaser of this book, and I pretty sure, and sure enough, that this book is a horror novel, mystery, and fantasy. So it is also modernized because it involves the computer gaming. So now the e-games world is very big all over the world, especially in Southeast Asia, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that Korean and Japanese people have this thing with e-games, esports. So most specifically Korean, they say that Korean gamers are really good because they are able to complete like the latest versions of like Diablo or whatever games that they're going to be releasing, then they would be able to finish it in less than a month, a day even. The developers are spending time to develop these games for years, but then they're just going to complete it in less than a day. So, but it is still, it is what I'm just trying to say is that it is a whole thing right now in the 2000s, in 2010s, I think. So starting those days, I think by 2015 even, it is bigger than ever. So before, there were only a few LAN games where you can play with other people, and that is what this book is exploring. So you are going to be interacting with a lot of players all over the world, or even just within your country. So that and then that is through the use of like Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, of internet connection, and they have their own servers. And sometimes these servers have the very different regions that you can enter, like Southeast Asian, North American, or even South American or European. So there are a lot of those servers, because servers can only accept a lot of players, because you are going to be logging in all at the same time. And we are going to be following Jana Silang's it's not really a gaming adventure, but Jana Silang's mystery about the game Tala. So the word Tala is actually an acronym, but just to make it really on theme, it is very similar to how, for example, Dota and LOL is known. It is just known with their acronyms, but Tala is actually just like that as well. And it is also mentioned in here. A lot of these games like Dota, I haven't really played Dota, but I know what it looks like. And LOL is the one I still play it, but not as often. I think I don't even remember how. It's been months when I played LOL. But Tala, let us look at the meaning now. This is Terra Anima Legion of Anitos. So Anito, this is not a summary of the first chapter or what, but I'm just trying to give you the premise of this book. So that Tala, so when you say Anito is like one of the gods that you are I feel like I'm running out of words, but it is one of those things that you are worshipping. There we go. So sometimes it is a tree, a stone with a face on it, like ancient people have like this Anitos. So I think this is why it is more Filipinized. And apparently in this book, Tala is a game that is developed by a Filipino creator that they do not know. It's very similar to, you know, the mystery of Bitcoin, where we don't know who Satoshi is. We know that it is Satoshi, but we don't even know if it's actually the real name of Satoshi, or is it just a screen name just so that the Bitcoin has a name, or even the blockchain. So that is the mystery of the Tala. And then it is initially not as popular, but then he was introduced by his friend in the computer shop, Harold, and he is addicted to Dota before, until he shifted or switched to Tala because he likes the challenge of the game. It is very much more complicated than it is, and not a lot of people has already explored the levels. It is so anonymous and so discreet that no one knows what the game is actually all about. I mean, how this is going to end, and all you wanted to do is to be the best in the game. And it has like 2 different characters that you can choose from. So if you can be Bagani, or you can be I forget other ones, but yes, one is the warrior and one is like a spellcaster, if that is going to put these things in perspective. So, and then the crazy thing about this is that Jana Silang, while he's playing this game, he is slowly becoming number one, and there is a worldwide competition about this Tala. No one is allowed to stream the game because I mean, the only ones who can actually see the game is the ones you're playing with, and then you need to, of course, defeat them in order to move on to the next stage and fight other players or other teams. And the crazy thing was when he wakes up in the computer shop, everyone is confusingly quiet, and when he checks up on them, they are all dead. I mean, it is not like a normal death, like one of them are stabbed or what. Like, it's not like a thefts or murder or serial killers doing, but the hand of his friend was pulverized, and he was so confused. So he is trying to contact a lot of people that he knew, and he went outside. It feels like not everyone, I mean, it feels like the world has stopped altogether. No one is there, no vehicles, no tricycles, no people walking by the street, but it was still too early in the evening, so it was so weird that no one is around. It feels like the entire place is dead, in short. Not all, I mean, even the stores are closed. The people that he would usually be passing by would not be there, and except for one person who is acting really weird. He is no longer laughing that time around. And yeah, that is what had caused all of this. I mean, what is going to start all of the investigation, because he would have to know what is actually happening. One of them died. I mean, even a lot of all of the players he is playing with and all of the people in the computer shop, which that is called Malakas, is already dead, or I mean are already dead. So this is kind of a horror film. I'm just not film, a horror literature, as well as mystery. So just like what I mentioned. So, and quite the descriptions in the book is also, I'm only in the first chapter, so I can't really say that it is going to be very descriptive. I hope it is not, because I'm not really that fan of, I mean, I always listen to these things. I mean, to true crime and also horror stories. Even, I mean, sometimes it's a fiction, scary stories. I listen to those, but I'm just not sure if I would be able to read them. This is the first time, I think, that I'm going to read something as grotesque as this. But let us see. I hope it is something that I can swallow. Yeah. Tala is an RPG game, that is what I want to say. It's a role-playing game, and as you know, it's very similar to LOL and to Dota. It's just that it's going, it's just much more anonymous, because you don't know who the player is. I mean, who the creator is. You don't know what is the highest level that anyone has attained in that particular game, because no, it is not announced in the page. Although a lot of people is claiming that it is actually a real game. I mean, not a real game, but a lot of people is posting about them surpassing level 23, level 13 and all, but their screenshots are very similar, and it looks like it's an edited picture. So that is what they are claiming. So that is what the book is all about, and we are just going to find out and follow Chana Silang as he is going to be fighting with Chanak, with the Chanak and Tabon. I don't know what Tabon is. I am guessing that this is like kind of like a flying animal, flying creature, as far as I can remember. But if not, then I'm going to learn something new. So that is it. That is what Chana Silang is all about, and I think I can finish this by within January. But for the rest, I'm just not too sure. A lot of things happening in real life as well as in work, so I'm just going to dedicate one chapter a day so that I will be able to finish all of this. But that is it. I think this is very interesting, right? I have also posted I've created a new channel, a new account, Instagram account, just specific for my podcast in order to reach more people. I am actually planning to grow the podcasting channel, and just so I would be able to share more things, and also exchange more conversations with people who are actually interested in the same things, or maybe in the same books that I'm reading, and they can give their own thoughts as well. So just maybe you can just follow it if you want, if you're interested. It's Talk Your Thought Pod in Instagram, just POD at the end, because they're already Talk Your Thought in Instagram. But it's Talk Your Thought Pod, and I'll be posting there if I have new episodes in my Spotify, in my podcast. It will be distributed in podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Anchor. There's a lot more, Google Podcasts. But I'll be posting there a lot, just to give my thoughts about all of these things, and maybe just to, if not my thoughts, I would just be fangirling, and maybe if not fangirling, I would be asking a lot of questions. What is tabon? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I posted, I think I already have like 3 posts in there. One of the posts I have tagged the author. I forgot to mention the author. It's Edgar Calabia Samar. He is really very approachable because I've just tagged him in one of the posts, and he replied. It's just a simple enjoy it. It's really, it's a good and it's a good audience interaction, right? That you know that they are actually taking their time to reply to these insignificant people or readers. But you are also supporting his novel, so maybe he's just really thankful for everyone who's interested to read it. So, and he also posted this as his story, so it's good. I am going to support people who are very humble, and yeah, I just wanted to share that because that is a cool thing. It has never really happened to me. And I realized that for Lori, the previous book that I've read, The White is for Magic, I've tagged her as well, but my account is private, and that is the reason that maybe she was able to answer me. I was not following her as well. That is my fault. And so yeah, but hopefully a lot more authors I would keep hopefully I would be able to get to know more authors and also interact with them, as long as I would be able to finish the stories, because I don't want to just blubber about things. To strike a conversation to the authors without even reading their stories. So yeah, it's just going to be a very fruitful conversation about what is really good about them. And the book 5 is going to be released. It's already out there, but I am waiting for it to have, to be low after I finish all of this, because this will take me 3 months to read. Not because I am a slow reader, but because I'm only taking very little time into reading. I'm just trying to get this into my routine now. But hopefully by the time that I will be able to finish the book 4, book 5 would have a lower price. That is just my concern. But yeah, I think that is everything that I wanted to cover for this episode, and It was really a good conversation. I hope I have not I think I have been going out of tangent for the whole entire 30 minutes, but that is it. I'm just going to be here. You're going to hear from me in my Spotify Talk Your Thought, because that is where I'm most active. Like Anchor, you're going to hear from me from the Talk Your Thought podcast channel. That is where I'm going to. I will research more about Tiyanak and Tabon so that I can talk more about this in depth and also have a little bit more substance and what I'm going to share. A bit more straight to the point, not coming off tangent on podcast. So that is what I'm going to do. So in any case, let us just end today's episode or live, and I'll be speaking to you all next time.